Hello guys, welcome to this channel. So in today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to sew a three-part corset top. So in our last tutorial, we learned how to draft this pattern. So if you want to know how to draft this, I'll be dropping the link in the description box, or you can go to the channel, watch for better understanding. I've made this tutorial so easy and so simple for you to understand. I'll be teaching you how to sew alongside with your yoke, and the tutorial is well detailed. So do not forget to hit on the like and the subscribe button. Do well by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next we upload new tutorials. Okay, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for always watching my videos. So guys, let's get straight into the video. So right now I've gone ahead to transfer my pattern to my fabric, and I added half of an inch all around, and at the hem of this I added 1 inch. This was cut on a fold, the center front piece, and I ironed my hairstay on the main fabric. You can decide to add on the lining piece. So for the side front, this is it. I've added half of an inch, and I added 1 inch at the hem of this, and also I've ironed my hairstay to the wrong side of the fabric. You can choose to add to your lining piece. And this is the side back. I've added half of an inch all around. I have 2 pieces for the main fabric, two pieces for the lining piece. And for the yoke, I've added half of an inch on the shoulder, the neckline, and this other part as well. I have 2 pieces for the lining and 2 pieces for the main fabric. Okay, for this, I've also gone ahead to add half of an inch all around, as you can see, and I have 4 pieces, 2 for the lining and 2 for the main fabric, so I'll be using the same material for it. And this other part, I've gone ahead to add half of an inch all around, and I iron my hairstay on both the lining piece and the main fabric. I repeated the same thing to this other one as well. 2 pieces for the actual fabric, 2 pieces for the lining. For the center back, I've added half of an inch all around, and also I knot this part so it will indicate the part that I'll be adding my loops. Okay, so you don't get confused, just knot that part. So guys, I'm just going to be separating the lining piece from the main fabric, and I'll go ahead and open up the center front like so. I'll place the side front on it, and I'll be stitching using half of an inch on both sides. I'll repeat the same thing to the lining piece as well. For the side back and the center back, I'm going to separate the lining piece as well, and I'll go ahead and place the center back on the side back, and I'll be stitching using half of an inch. Please do this on the lining piece as well. Okay, place the center back to the on the side back and stitch using half of an inch. Repeat the same thing on the lining piece. So this is our 3 patterns. So I'll be stitching part 2 and part 3 together first. I'll separate the lining piece. Please make sure you work with your pattern paper because they look very alike, so you don't mix it up. So I'll be stitching part 2 and 3 together. Place them like so, and you can go ahead and stitch using half of an inch. After stitching, then you now join the part 1 to the 2. Can you see we've made it one piece? Okay, please make sure you work with your pattern paper so that you don't mix this up. So I'll be adding the part 1 to it. I'll open up the seam, and I'll be stitching using half of an inch. Okay, so this is what you'll be doing on the lining piece as well. I'll do that and show you guys. After I was done doing that, I'm just gonna head to notch the seam allowance because I don't want the seam allowance. Just go ahead and notch the seam allowance and give it a good press. So this is our cup. I'll be using ready-made. I formed this cup with my wadding. I have a detailed tutorial on how you can actually achieve this. I'll be dropping the link in the description box so you can get to watch it as well. Instead of using the regular cup, I'll be using this as well. So this is the second one. I've gone ahead to iron the cups to the main fabric. Okay, so I'll do the second one and show you. Also, I've gone ahead to stitch this part, and I give it a good press. Right now, I've gone ahead to cut a fabric of 1.5 inches. On a fold, I iron it carefully because we'll be using this to create our boning channel. Okay, so I have about 3 pieces for this. Make it long, and I went ahead to reduce the size of the seam allowance for this other part. So next, I'm going to be placing this like so, close to this joining, and I'll be stitching using quarter of an inch. After stitching, I'll turn it over and I'll top stitch. Okay, so this is how you can actually create your boning casing. So I'll repeat the same thing to the other side as well, so you can determine how many channel you want to create. So I will be creating 5. I'll do that behind the camera and show you what it looks like. Okay, so guys, after I was done doing that, this is what it looks like, and you can see I have 5 boning channel. So go ahead, and this is our boning. We'll be using plastic boning for this is about half of an inch boning. So, and I'll go ahead and cut my boning casing for all of this. Make sure it is half of an inch, 1 inch short of what you have the length, so that you will not stitch on the boning when turning. Okay, so go ahead and give it a good press. So guys, as you can see, I'm just trying to determine the part that will be at the center front. So use your pattern, work with your pattern. I'll determine the center of my cup to the center of my fabric, and I'll go ahead and I'll pin it up like this. I'm going to be stitching using half of an inch all the way around. I'll repeat the same thing to the lining piece as well. Please make sure you notch this other part. Okay, go ahead and notch it a little, then go ahead and stitch after notching. Please repeat the same thing to the lining. So guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. Can you see that? So I'm just going to be folding it into two like this. I want to reduce it a little with half of an inch. Okay, so go ahead and reduce it. So I'm going to increase this part, add it up on when I'm transferring to when I'm cutting my yoke. Okay, so I'll repeat the same thing to my lining piece. Please reduce it, because I've just gone ahead to reduce the main fabric. Can you see that? So for this is our yoke. I'm just going to be placing it like this. The center, place the center of your dress and place it on the pattern paper and trace it out like so. Just go ahead and cut out. So guys, this is what it looks like. I'll go ahead and transfer to my fabric. Okay, because I realized that this I reduced this cup one, I reduced the size, so I'm going to be increasing my yoke by 1 inch, by half of an inch. Okay, I'll increase my yoke by half of an inch. As you can see, I've gone ahead to transfer to my fabric and I increase it by 1 inch, half of an inch trimming and half of an inch for the joining, so that by the time we sew it, it will add up to it. Okay, we don't want any shortage, and this is very okay for me. Our bust line is 13 inches. Okay, so guys, the next thing, I'll open it up. I'll go ahead and stitch using half of an inch for the round neck, and I'll show you what it looks like. Guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. Okay, so we'll be joining this yoke to our fabric. I'll notch the midpoint of our yoke, notch the midpoint of our fabric, and also notch the center of our lining as well. Place them like so, and I'll be stitching using half of an inch. Please, when stitching, you're going to be stitching alongside your hemming go. Okay, so just watch what I'm doing. If you don't understand what I'm saying, the yoke is going to be in between the lining piece and the main fabric. Stitch using half of an inch. Start from the midpoint. When you get to the other end, you start again from the midpoint until you get to the second end. Okay, so guys, I'll go behind the camera. I'll do that and show you what it looks like. And also, I'll be stitching the side as well. Please go ahead and stitch the side using half of an inch. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to stitch this. Can you see that the hemming gum is on my lining piece? Please go ahead and notch this other part as well, so that it will be easy for you to iron. So I'll turn it out. I'll go ahead and give it a good press. Guys, after I was done ironing, can you see this is what it looks like? It's looking pretty already. I've gone ahead to iron this, and also I'm going to be adding my boning. So make sure you notch the edge like this before passing it through. Please, you're going to be passing your boning through that bent part. Don't worry, when we are through, we are going to give it a good press. Okay, so you don't need to straighten it. Just go ahead and place your boning, and this is what it looks like after I was done ironing. Okay, I've gone ahead to iron it. So guys, for the back piece, when you place it on it, I discovered that it was longer. The back was a little longer, so I'm just going to be marking it and I'll reduce it. Okay, please go ahead and reduce it. So I'm going to place the lining piece together and I'll reduce it. Then for the back yoke, I'm going to be placing the lining piece together with it, and I'll be stitching using 1/2 inch. I've gone ahead. When I get to this point, I'm just going to place this part, this piece. I've folded it into two because this is going to be our buttons hole, button space. Okay, so for this I have 3 inches fabric. Then the other side, I'll go ahead and stitch it all the way around. Guys, I'll also be creating my loops, and this is 3 inches long length for the loop. I'm going to be stitching all the way, and the distance between them is 1 inch. Okay, so after I was done stitching, can you see this is what it looks like? Please go ahead and create your casing for your button. And also for this, I've gone ahead to stitch as well on both sides. So I want to create, I want to be covering the back. So the length of this is 13 inches by 13 inches. Okay, it totally depends on you. This is optional. If you want it, good. If you don't want it, it's okay. And it was on fold. So you would notice that we left 1/2 inch at the top and at the hem of this. So that's what you'll be doing. So don't make it the same length with the back. So I'm going to place my yoke at the joining of my back. That's where I'll be placing my yoke, and I'm going to place it like this, and also place the lining piece. Okay, so right side facing each other, and I'll be stitching using 1/2 inch. You're going to stitch the other side as well using 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'll do that behind the camera and show you. For the other back, I'm going to locate the joining part of our center back and side back. I'm going to place my yoke, and I'll go ahead and place the lining piece, and you'll be stitching 1/2 inch. I'll stitch the center back, I'll stitch the upper part, and I'll stitch the side as well. So guys, after I was done stitching, can you see this is what it looks like? This is looking pretty already. Okay, so for the other side, this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to stitch and give it a good press. Okay, also guys, I'll be joining the shoulder together. I'll place them together, right sides facing each other, and I use the lining for the back to turn up this. I'll repeat the same thing to the other side as well, stitch using 1/2 inch. Okay, and also I'll be cutting my fabric. This is about 1/4 inch, so I'll go ahead and I'll be using it to turn this, just to pipe this. Stitch, turn it like this on the lining piece. After stitching, you turn it to the right side and fold again just to pipe it. I'll repeat the same thing to the front pattern as well. Okay, so guys, after I was done doing that, this is what it looks like. Can you see it's looking pretty already? So this is just a way you can actually finish this. So I'll go ahead and impute the body measurement. I'll impute the body measurement, and I'll go ahead and stitch. Guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. I gave it a good press, and we are almost done. For this puff sleeve, I have a tutorial on how you can actually achieve this. I'll go ahead and stitch. I'll repeat the same thing to the other side as well. You can go through the channel to watch how you can actually draft this, and I'll fix my button, and this is the loop, the rope for the back. So guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to add my buttons as well, 2 buttons, and this is looking pretty already. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you find this interesting, please do not forget to like this video, share this video with other soulmates, subscribe to the channel, and do it by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next we upload new tutorials. Okay, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for watching my videos. God bless you. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye.